Thanks for joining us for this look at the best original reporting from KPBS News this week. I'm Matt Hoffman. Coming up, San Diego's ambulance worker shortage, the new incentives that managers hope will attract more first responders. Better air quality in Barrio Logan, an update on complaints about a foul odor and how neighbors are now able to breathe easier. And Balboa Park's backlog of repairs, the needed work that experts say is now approaching $500 million. Finals week has come and gone at UC San Diego, but the work stoppage that's disrupting the entire UC system has not. Melissa May visited campus this week. She talked with striking workers and students about the uncertainty that lies ahead.
Workers' rights are under attack.
In the fourth week of the strike, there's still no deal for academic student employees or graduate student researchers. And now a published report says UC professors are planning to withhold student grades in solidarity with the strikers. John Gove is one of the strikers. He says the UC is weaponizing undergraduates.
They could solve this grade withholding crisis that they've created in an instant by offering a good contract and by ending this strike. And they choose not to do it because they recognize that if they put undergraduates in crisis, that makes us look like we're the bad guys, when they're in fact the ones creating this crisis that they're using to make sure that we don't get paid what we deserve.
But undergraduate Jaden Wood says she's not worried about grades.
Scholarships, financial aid, prerequisites for future classes, it's not going to affect undergrads signing up or being eligible for those things because it's simply going to be a blank grade. It's not going to affect our GPA. Our GPA is not going to decrease. They're just going to come much later.
The biggest way that grade withholding affects undergraduates is if their teachers get a living wage as a result of it.
The UC says it's made an offer for more money and better benefits, and it's already made a deal with 2 units of academic workers. Wood says she hopes for a deal that will set a precedent for other universities.
So if we can make this change happen, that can affect so many other people, so many other grad students.
The fall quarter ends on Saturday. Melissa May, KPBS News.
This week brought another reminder about the disparities when it comes to race and gender. Kitty Alvarado has more on the message and the actions behind Latina Equal Pay Day.
Today is Latina Equal Pay Day, and
Latina Equal Pay Day is the symbolic day marking the additional time a Latina needs to work to earn the same annual salary as her white male counterpart. Local leaders stood in front of the county administration building to say enough is enough.
there is no economy without Latinas. We are the essential workers. We're childcare providers. We're business owners. We're the supervisors, and we're not going anywhere.
County Supervisor and Vice Chair Nora Vargas said policymakers have a responsibility to create change, and everyone must demand employers create equal opportunity for all.
Based on the current rate of progress, Latinas are not going to reach the equal pay with non-Latino men for more another 200 years or until 2020.
2 years or 730 days. That's how much longer a Latina who works full-time has to work to make as much money as a white male worker. That means a Latina makes 57 cents for every dollar white men make. And this adds up. During a career, it adds up to over $1 million.
I'm also here as a man because men have a role to play in addressing this issue.
Mayor Todd Gloria not only pledged to make the city's workforce more equitable, he challenged every employer in San Diego to do the same.
I'd like to challenge all the allies here today and all the employers in this great city to do what the city of San Diego is doing. Look inside your organizations to understand how the national pay disparity is affecting your employees, and then pledge to take action within your own organization to model the behavior that we must model if we're going to address this issue and to put it to bed at last.
Kitty Alvarado, KPBS News.
Facing staffing shortages, the city of San Diego's ambulance provider Falck is offering signing bonuses. I recently spoke with one of the company's executives about this new incentive and what's becoming a busy time for hospitals.
Our goal is to try to fill all of the openings as soon as possible. We've been doing that ever since we started.
Falck San Diego's managing director, Jeff Bames, says he knows staffing levels are not what they promised. It's impacting response times, so they're upping their game to attract new paramedics in the city of San Diego.
It's a competition because there's a limited pool, especially in the immediate area around San Diego. So we just look at it and said, we need to increase that to try to get folks to consider coming over to Falck.
$50,000 sign-on bonuses are being offered for new paramedics. It would be spread out over 3 years, and it's larger than the $15,000 bonuses offered by their competitor, American Medical Response.
I mean, I commend them for upping their recruitment and trying to bring on new personnel. It might be a little late. You know what? We wish this probably would have happened before.
San Diego Fire Rescue Chief Colin Stoll says attracting new employees will take some time. He also worries about retention of existing employees.
They have not been able to bring on the number of people that they need, and they have not been able to hold on to their employees after they are with Falck. So something's got to change internally for Falck to address that.
The president of the San Diego Association of Pre-Hospital Professionals, which represents Falck employees, shares the fire chief's concerns.
To the point that it maybe brings in more people, we feel that's possible. Any signing bonus will do that. Unfortunately, it only addresses a handful of new hire paramedics they bring in, and it does nothing to address the non-competitive base pay issues that are preventing Falck from retaining paramedics in our workforce. And that number of deficit paramedics has only grown.
The association and Falck are in the middle of negotiating a new contract, and Bames says they hope to do something for current employees.
And we're in those discussions to see what can we do.
Since Falck fully took over San Diego's 911 contract about a year ago, they have not yet met their monthly staffing goals. Bames says they need around 30 paramedics to ease the burden on current employees who are under mandatory overtime. But the fire chief is skeptical that things will turn around soon. He's still planning to present options to city council members next month about what to do in the meantime.
This is a year into the contract. We're really not getting what we had been promised a year ago. And we're looking at all avenues of how we can increase the service levels, the ambulance hours out in the street, and kind of get to a more long-term sustainable program.
The association representing Falck employees says 50 paramedics have left in the last year and more could be on their way out. There's also a $10,000 signing bonus being offered to employees who refer new full-time paramedics that would be paid out over the course of a year. Those who live in San Diego's Barrio Logan have dealt with all sorts of air quality problems. Most recently, it came from a biofuel plant. It was putting out a smell so bad that it forced neighbors to stay indoors. Environment reporter Eric Anderson tells us the situation there is improving.
The situation outside of the factory is markedly better since a filtration system was activated inside the New Leaf biofuel plant.
Oh, today we're very thankful that it's a good day. That way we can come out on the patio, we can do our plants, we can even sit for a little while or take sun.
That was not possible for the last year because of a stifling smell from the factory located just across the street. New Leaf Biofuel installed a $250,000 filtration system that's designed to contain a pungent odor coming from its cooking oil processing facility. The company turns that oil into fuel, but the process is smelly, and neighbors have been complaining about it for more than a year. The company has been working with air quality officials to contain the odor, and they think this will work.
Our real hope is that this is relief from whatever smell they were getting, and that it enable them to live their lives as normal without any interruption from anything that we do.
Neighborhood advocates are cautiously optimistic that the activated carbon filter system will keep the smell from irritating people who live there.
We have this odor control system installed, and it's a huge step for the neighborhood. But our work here is not done, right? We need to continue to evaluate. We need to continue to monitor how effective this system is.
Air pollution control officials will monitor the situation. They'll gather early next year to see if the problem has been fixed. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
At the Salk Institute, there's one scientist who's able to see himself in his research. KPBS SciTech reporter Thomas Fudge has this story. It's about a biologist whose own experience has given him a deep understanding of the science and the culture of deafness.
Uri Manor does more than one thing at the Salk Institute. On one hand, he's a specialist in microscopic photography. Recently, he showed me a hallway near his office that is lined with his photos of cells. One photo shows so-called hair cells that inhabit the inner ear and vibrate in response to sound, sending signals to the auditory nerve. Problems with those cells can cause deafness, and that is what Manor, a cell biologist, studies in his lab.
You can imagine then that if just a little mistake or a little alteration in the instructions, which is the DNA, on how to construct that hair can cause it to have a different enough shape that it no longer functions properly.
Uri Manor has been profoundly hard of hearing since birth. He has never been able to hear properly without hearing aids, something his parents realized when he was 2 years old and still could not talk. And though he is not deaf, he knows what it's like.
As someone who wears hearing aids, I actually kind of go back and forth between the two worlds of deaf and hearing, because when I turn my hearing aids off, it's over. I don't hear you anymore. So I kind of know what that's like.
Deafness and being hard of hearing takes many forms. We all lose hearing with age. Loud music and our noisy, mechanized society also damage hearing. Manor inherited from his parents, who were not hard of hearing, the genes for profound congenital hearing loss. One member of Manor's lab, research scientist David Rosenberg, lost his hearing in one ear. He remembers when it happened in college.
I was sitting for a physics exam and heard this very loud ringing. Turns out that the ringing was coming from my head, from my ear. And it was the first sort of symptom I had of a vestibular schwannoma.
Meaning a tumor had developed on his auditory nerve. It was surgically removed, but by then he had basically lost hearing in his right ear. He remembers talking with the surgeon after the tumor was removed. The doctor rustled his fingers next to the damaged ear.
And I think at the time I had some residual hearing, but it wasn't the same on both sides. So when he did that test and I was like, yeah, I can hear it a little bit, he said, good. And then he walked away. And so that kind of left this impression on me that like, oh, I'm fine. But the reality is I wasn't fine.
Rosenberg and Manor are now writing a grant proposal to fund research that could find a way to prevent the growth or even shrink those tumors by implanting in people a working copy of a crucial gene.
Hi, Ada.
Hi, Ada.
A video produced by the Mayo Clinic shows a woman holding her deaf baby who has had its cochlear implant turned on for the first time, allowing her to hear her parents' voice. The baby smiles. Manor, the father of 4 kids, says seeing a similar video caused him to break down in tears.
Hello.
But he says some reactions to it on social media were very negative, including one that called it cultural genocide. That's a common term that suggests efforts to cure deafness are undermining a community that has its own language and ways. The California Association for the Deaf didn't respond to my effort to get them to comment. Manor says for deaf people, sign language, the culture, and the deaf community.
For many of them, it's been a lifesaver. If they didn't have that, many deaf people don't know other deaf people until they become adults. And then they join a deaf community, and then they have this whole world of technology and language and people who understand them. And many of them feel that, this idea of curing or treating or whatever, or even calling them disabled is offensive.
Manor says he's become careful to say he is not trying to cure deafness. He's trying to give people the option to be able to hear. Babies these days don't have to wait until they're 2 for their parents to realize they are functionally deaf. Now, tests are done on newborns.
I have pictures of my daughters in the hospital wearing special headphones that can measure whether their ears are working properly.
He says the gene mutations that cause deafness are recessive, which means kids have to get them from both of their parents to be affected. Manor says none of his kids are hard of hearing. Thomas Fudge, KPBS News.
I've never seen that face before.
That story and all of our KPBS features can be streamed anytime on the KPBS YouTube page. That's also where we live stream episodes of KPBS Evening Edition weeknights at 5 p.m. Here's some of the most read stories this week at kpbs.org. No charges in rape accusations against former SDSU football players. See why prosecutors made that decision more than a year after the incident. Balboa Park is in need of repairs, estimated at $500 million, and new life for San Diego's trolleys thousands of miles away. We'll have both those stories coming up later in the newscast. Zillow says the average price for a home in Escondido is $800,000. So it's not surprising that hundreds of families signed up for a chance at getting one costing less than half of that. KPBS North County reporter Tanya Thorne tells us out of those hundreds, only 10 will get a new set of keys.
San Diego Habitat for Humanity is building 10 homes off El Norte Parkway in Escondido.
So what we're seeing here is the horizontal pads, the foundations for what's going to be 10 affordable home ownership homes.
Kwafi Reed is the president of San Diego Habitat for Humanity. The homes are 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath duplexes.
And these homes are, as with all of Habitat's products, going to be priced to be affordable for families that make 80% of the area median income. So for a family of 4, we're talking about a family that makes about $92,000.
With a price tag of approximately $300,000 each, there's huge demand.
We had 270 applicants apply for those 10 spots. It's tough, right? Because the median price for a home in San Diego is, as we all know, $800,000 or so dollars. And so for working families who are trying to make that leap into home ownership, it can be really tough.
Escondido Council member Consuelo Martinez says she isn't surprised so many families applied for the chance at affordable housing.
Now these families are living with their parents in multi-generational homes, waiting to be able to buy something affordable, right? And they're saving that money, but they just can't enter that market yet. And so this is really going to provide an amazing opportunity for our families here in Escondido.
Martinez says the opportunity comes as she sees gentrification happening and pushing residents out of the city.
You know, I noticed that a lot of the older homes are being purchased by investors. They're being gutted and remodeled and sold at a really exorbitant price. So it's really pricing out a lot of folks. So for me, it's something that I'm very concerned about. I don't want my residents to be displaced.
Although 10 affordable homes is a small feat, Martinez says it's a start in the right direction at having more affordable housing in Escondido. A start that Maribel Valle says many families hope for. Valle works as a liaison for families at Mission Middle School and let them know about the opportunity.
I immediately started, talking to my families and letting them know, this is happening, you should apply because I know the need. I know the need in this community. So.
As she was promoting the application, Valle realized she also had a need for an opportunity like this.
When I started looking at the requirements, I began to think of myself too. I'm in that situation, so I did go through the application process.
She's currently renting a room and doesn't have the space for her children. If she is selected, she says it would change everything.
It would be beautiful to have my children back with me living, and it's something that I'm hoping for.
Habitat for Humanity will be reviewing applications and expects to have the families selected before the end of the year.
For us, what that means is we get to pick 10 extremely qualified, hardworking families that fit all of the criteria that you'd like to see. But it breaks our heart that we had to say no to some 260 plus otherwise really qualified families who also deserve this dream of home ownership.
Families must be in need of improved housing, willing to participate in the building of the home, and have a stable income in order to qualify. The city of Escondido and the state each contributed $1 million for the project. Reed says it's those partnerships, donors, and volunteers that make their mission possible.
We have costs for our development that aren't as high as market rate, but they're pretty close. So the difference for us is we're not passing those costs along to our home buyers. We are working with partners to help make it affordable so that other people can get that dream of home ownership without having to pay $800,000 and $900,000 for their house.
He says the mortgages won't exceed 30% of the family's gross income. And that affordability allows families to be healthier, kids thrive in school, and can be a resource for the future. Tanya Thorne, KPBS News.
Those who rent have received some protections during the pandemic, but those are now gone. KPBS reporter Jacob Ayer tells us about a new proposal to help people who struggle with the cost of living.
The proposed framework for the updated tenant protection ordinance would offer further support and resources for both renters and landlords. Mayor Todd Gloria says it incorporates input from those groups and tenant advocates.
This framework, I believe, will help us take the necessary steps to protect renters from wrongful terminations, provide clarity and consistency to our rental housing providers, and to prevent people from falling into homelessness.
He says it would update the city's current tenants' right to know ordinance to be in line with state law.
And these changes would include additional noticing to renters, confirmation of various definitions like no fault and at fault, the opportunity to cure, to assist renters and rental housing providers with additional opportunities to address issues that could result in wrongful termination, relocation assistance or rental waivers.
In some areas, the plan goes beyond what the state requires, which is good news to ACE San Diego Director Jose Lopez.
We need to make sure that we're closing the big loopholes, like the evictions for remodeling or removing the property from the rental market. We're not against landlords doing repairs or deciding not to rent their property, but we want to make sure that there's accountability.
The Southern California Rental Housing Association says it's looking for an approach that's fair to landlords as well. In a statement, the association's president, Lucinda Lilly, said, "With a balanced approach, we will continue to support more San Diegans being housed, while also preventing unintended negative impacts to the local housing market." A draft of the amended ordinance is underway. It's anticipated to go before the City Council in early 2023. Jacob Ayer, KPBS News.
At more than 150 years old, San Diego's Balboa Park is starting to show some of its age. As KPBS's John Carroll reports, overdue repairs and renovations are adding up in a big way.
Balboa Park. It's known as the crown jewel of San Diego, for good reason. But a new report says the jewel is losing its luster. That report from the Burnham Center for Community Advancement has some suggestions for how to preserve it.
We help cultivate good ideas, create good ideas, and then organize around those good ideas to bring them to life.
The Burnham Center took several decades worth of reports on the park and synthesized them, adding their own ideas on how to make it sustainable for generations to come, ideas that come with a hefty price tag. The center says nearly $500 million is needed. A big component of the report is how Balboa Park should be managed.
The systems that drive the park are decades old. And our community is different, the park is different, the needs are different, the infrastructure is aging, and what we built decades ago to serve the community and maintain the park, we've just outgrown it.
Walking around Balboa Park, it's understandable to wonder what needs nearly $500 million worth of fixing. Tad Parson says the list is fairly long. The report lists 7 priorities, including a revenue measure for deferred maintenance. There's a lot of that. Commitments to do big-time fundraising, creating a property and business improvement district, and a cabinet-level department within the city to oversee the park. Some long overdue work is underway now. For instance, the Botanical Building, which is getting a complete makeover. But other big challenges remain. New drainage systems are needed. And bathrooms, there need to be more of them, and the existing ones need updating. There is so much to do, and Parson says no time to waste.
It's really too important to fail. We've got to come together as a community, find solutions, and make them happen.
This report makes the vision clear. A community working to make sure the jewel of San Diego stays at the top of the crown. John Carroll, KPBS News.
Dozens of old San Diego trolleys are getting a new life in South America. I recently had a chance to go to MTS's train yard to see how these new trolleys will help people there.
There's going to be millions of folks in Argentina who now have access to transportation in a way that they wouldn't have before.
Over the last decade, the Metropolitan Transit System has been sending old trolley cars to Mendoza, Argentina. It started with first-generation trolleys from the 1980s, and now nearly all of MTS's second-generation trolleys are on their way to be repurposed.
Se va a duplicar el servicio y vamos a mejorar el servicio actual con las nuevas duplas también.
The Secretary of Public Services in Mendoza, Argentina, says the first-generation trolleys are still running great. They're getting an additional 39 MTS trolley cars, which allows them to grow their transit system.
Solo agradecer a MTS, a las autoridades de San Diego, porque gracias a ellos hemos podido seguir desarrollando nuestro sistema en nuestra provincia.
MTS's second-generation trolleys rolled out in the mid-1990s. They were the system's first trains with onboard computers, and even though they have millions of miles on them, they can still run for years to come. If they weren't given away, officials say they would be forced to scrap them.
And that is a cost to the agency, not to mention environmentally, you don't want to see something that couldn't serve a useful purpose go into a landfill.
MTS CEO Sharon Cooney says some of these second-generation trolleys are already in service in Argentina. You can tell which generation a trolley is by the number on it. A 5000 series is the newest fifth-generation models, which are more accessible for passengers.
We made a conscious decision to become more accessible for people by going low floor, which means that people can roll their wheelchairs onto the vehicles, they can bring their strollers.
Some second-generation trolleys will still operate in San Diego for the next year or so. A majority of them will eventually end up in Mendoza, but there's talks to keep some in town.
We are in conversations with a prominent brewery here to possibly put one on one of their campuses. We have also been discussing it with railway museums. They have a lot of interest in San Diego MTS because we were one of the original modern light rail lines in the United States.
Transit officials say the partnership is a win-win. We hope you enjoyed this look at KPBS News this week. I'm Matt Hoffman. Thanks for joining us.